Western Mass News is digging deeper into a past robbery by the man the FBI has now dubbed the Route 91 Bandit. Welcome, everyone, to Western Mass News at 10 on Fox 6. I'm Chris Pisano. 30-year-old Taylor Dzizcek of Chicopee was taken into custody last week for allegedly robbing more than a dozen banks across 4 New England states. Western Mass News reporter Lexi Oliver has more.
Chris, we told you last week that this recent string of 14 robberies along I-91 isn't the first time Taylor Dzizcek has had a run-in with police. And now we're learning about one of his convictions from the man who prosecuted the case.
If these charges are proven to be true, then that's truly unfortunate. The goal of any successful prosecution is to prevent this kind of behavior, whatever it is, from happening again.
Assistant Northwestern District Attorney Matthew Thomas speaking with Western Mass News after a man he prosecuted in 2017 is back in trouble with the law. Western Mass News captured video of the FBI raiding Taylor Dzizcek's house in Chicopee last week. He's now accused of robbing 14 banks along I-91 in Connecticut, Western Mass, Vermont, and New Hampshire. In 2006, Dzizcek was sentenced to 3 years in state prison after he pleaded guilty to 4 counts of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon for assaulting 4 separate people with a knife and 1 count of armed and mass robbery for stealing drugs from someone. In January of 2017, Dzizcek was arrested and tried for larceny over $250 after he was seen stealing tools from a Home Depot in West Springfield. He served a year of jail time for that crime. And again in 2017, Dzizcek was sentenced to between 3 and 4 years in state prison for unarmed robbery after he was convicted of stealing nearly $6,000 from East Hampton Savings Bank in South Hadley in 2015.
He went into this bank, he had a mask on and demanded money from the teller, and made off with essentially bundles of cash. So she was very upset by this. I think she left that job ultimately. She was very upset about it, had a hard time talking about it.
Thomas tells us an off-duty Holyoke police officer saw Dzizcek running away from the bank and followed him in her car. He was able to get away from her, but she remembered one of his features, which helped her identify him later in court.
He had distinctive eye color, and his these brilliant blue eyes, and she remembered that as she drove past him.
Investigators eventually found and arrested Dzizcek in Wilbraham, looking for a bag of cash that had been lost in a wooded area. And Thomas adds that his memory of the case was Dzizcek was doing it to support a drug habit.
So I don't know what we could have done differently with Mr. Dzizcek, and sometimes our best efforts are not successful when it comes to the rehabilitation of someone.
The current case remains under investigation by the FBI. Dzizcek was arraigned last Thursday in Hartford and was ordered to be detained. Reporting live in studio, Lexi Oliver, Western Mass News.
Lexi, thank you.